my body's taking over me. It's destroyed my life. And this is pure hell. It really is.
You're still overeating. Follow what I'm saying?
I don't, because I'm not eating. And I'm tired of people telling me that I'm eating because I'm not eating.
Like a prisoner. My life is pretty much over if this is all that's left for me.
Buckle up, because Joe's experience was a roller coaster of emotions, setbacks, and, unfortunately, diet disasters that left us all a bit stunned. Joe Wexler's tale starts in Johnson City, TN, where at 31, he tipped the scales at a shocking 777 pounds. His battle with food wasn't a sudden one. It stemmed from deep childhood issues. Seeking his father's attention and not getting it pushed young Joe to find solace in food. Tragically, he felt trapped in his own body to the point of contemplating suicide.
My left knee popped real loud and the pain's unbearable.
Have you been in the floor this whole time, or were you able to get back up?
No, I've been in the floor.
We're sending them out there to you, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Being this size, I'm in excruciating pain all the time.
Joe's life became a cycle of isolation and shame. Even with the support of his sister Annie and his mom Robin, he felt incredibly alone. Battling congestive heart failure and diabetes, Joe was juggling about 13 to 14 medications daily. Can you imagine the burden of remembering all those pills every day? But how did Joe's life spiral to this point?
I absolutely despise it because I want to be independent.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I've seen better days.
Yeah, I heard you went to the hospital this morning. How was that?
You know, they,
Looking back, Joe's relationship with food was deeply ingrained from his childhood. Spending time with his grandmother involved playing games and indulging in too much food, setting a pattern early on. By 18, he already weighed around 450 pounds. Was his grandmother unintentionally enabling his unhealthy habits?
It's hard leaving everything here behind.
so many things are running through my head. My mom is leaving behind everything to come and help take care of me. On the road we go. And I'm scared. What if I just can't do this? I want to believe that I can, because if I don't, I'm going to die. Greg, can we stop and get something to eat?
Joe's background didn't help either. Growing up in a chaotic family environment and experiencing significant losses like the deaths of his grandfather and father due to heart issues, Joe faced immense emotional turmoil. Each hardship seemed to drive him further into comfort eating. It's a classic case of using food as an emotional crutch, but let's see how it affected his quest for a healthier life.
One of the things that catches people a lot is stress eating or emotional eating. And when you do eat, always ask yourself the why. You know, the surgery's life-changing. And so you want to use this time to make some life changes and to prepare yourself. Okay, so now I want to show you something about labels. If we can look at this one here, you can see what I want you to zero in on these labels first of all.
On the show, Joe took a major step by meeting with Dr. Now, who set a clear goal for him: lose 150 pounds to qualify for weight loss surgery. Joe and his mother even moved to Houston to be closer to Dr. Now for better monitoring. However, when Joe found out he had gained 15 pounds instead of losing, the disappointment was palpable. But Joe didn't give up just yet.
This past month, I've gotten more depressed. I've told the doctor. He set me up with a therapist to talk to me and help me work through my emotions right now.
Recognizing Joe's struggles with emotional eating, Dr. Now recommended therapy. During one session, the psychotherapist suggested Joe list all his grievances as if he were writing a sermon. Ironically, Joe showed up to the session with a coffee and a cinnamon roll in hand, ready to tackle his issues but still caught in the grip of old habits.
A whole entire breakfast is 210 calories.
I'm very proud of you. That looks kind of like a lot of food, too.
I'm gonna push myself as hard as I can to get to the weight I need. It's high protein, no carbs.
You feel full now?
Oh Lord, yeah. Everything is riding on hitting my goal. I see the doctor next month, and I know this is my last chance.
In the end, Joe Wexler's story didn't have the triumphant finish we all hoped for. By the close of his episode, his weight had escalated to 704 pounds, despite his initial efforts. Gaining 15 pounds when he desperately needed to lose weight was a real gut punch, not just to viewers, but undoubtedly to Joe himself. It's a stark reminder of how challenging and complex the journey to health can be.
Today is the moment I retake my life and say, no more.
Today we're gonna go ahead and get the weight loss surgery for Joe. The most effective type of surgery for this size patient is gastric bypass. Turn the room lights off.
Betty Jo's journey is a wild ride filled with controversy, frustration, and those moments that just make you shout, really, at your screen. Imagine being a young girl already caught in the grips of food addiction by age 3. By 7, Betty weighed 200 pounds, and by 14, she had nearly doubled. It's a heart-wrenching start to life, isn't it?
I have taken on a lot for Betty Jo and do everything I can. Everything. It's hard.
My marriage with Josh is really difficult for us because of my weight.
It prevents me from having a real marriage because he has to be my caretaker.
Betty's childhood was scarred by intense bullying, the profound loss of loved ones, and abandonment. She opened up about some of the darkest chapters of her life, including being abandoned by her father and enduring a harrowing experience with a neighbor. The loss of her grandmother only deepened her emotional pain, sending her spiraling further into despair.
My life totally changed. I was sexually assaulted. I've always been happy-go-lucky, but after that, I wasn't even like myself anymore. I was angry, I was depressed, so I started eating more.
Betty Jo turned to food as her comfort, and through the process, just slowly got bigger.
Throughout these tumultuous times, Betty's mom stood by her as her rock. However, life threw yet another curveball, and circumstances led to Betty ending up in an epilepsy institution. Isolated and adrift, food became her unwavering companion, offering solace in the face of overwhelming loneliness and a spiraling depression. This marked a critical turning point in her life, setting her on a path she never expected to walk.
How to get an eating habit that's going to be sustainable? What's your biggest challenge?
I love anything that has to do with potatoes.
Who does the grocery shopping?
She makes the list, I go get the stuff.
So you are her enabler.
Basically, I've stopped trying to argue with her.
I'm concerned that her husband may be the biggest problem. He's an enabler, but he's not overweight, which means he's feeding her because he may want her to be.
In a desperate bid for change, Betty reached out to Dr. Now, clinging to the hope he might offer her a lifeline. But here's where the plot thickens. While Betty was all words, her actions told a different story. Her commitment to Dr. Now's diet plan seemed more like lip service than genuine effort. The gap between her intentions and actions was as wide as a canyon.
Well, that is a high-calorie food. What do you mean raisins, Brennan? It's been a couple months since surgery. Betty Jo, she should have at least lost another 60 pounds. The fact that she hasn't lost any weight means that she's overeating. Just pay attention to what I tell you, okay? If the calorie you take and the calorie you spend is equal, your weight will stay the same.
I have been kind of overeating because I have been a little depressed and stuff.
As we reached the final weigh-in, it became the moment of truth for Betty. Despite her claims of progress, she fell drastically short of qualifying for gastric bypass surgery, having lost only 2 pounds. This not only led to a clash with Dr. Now, but left all of us wondering if her weight loss journey would ever really take off.
And he did it.
I wonder, Josh, what are you thinking or feeling, or how has it affected you? The weight loss or the surgery, and just how has that changed your relationship?
I used to take care of her. be her caregiver, do what she needs. But now she's starting to just be able to move around and stuff, and in a way that really scares me because I don't want her to leave me.
Lately, he kind of
In a dramatic climax, Betty's frustration boiled over. During a heated confrontation with Dr. Now, she was visibly upset and walked out in the middle of an appointment. This moment encapsulated the entire frustration of her journey on the show, leaving us all biting our nails and shaking our heads.
you know, a marriage like we were before I got this big.
It sounds like ultimately you both want to find a way to have like that happiness in the relationship together. Okay, well, it was nice meeting you today. Okay.
Nice meeting you.
I think it helps understanding how afraid Josh is.
Betty's story doesn't just highlight the struggles with weight loss. It's a profound look at the battle against personal demons and the continuous struggle for self-improvement. Her journey is a stark reminder of how essential genuine commitment and resilience Now let's dive into one of the show's most inspiring yet challenging journeys. It's the story of Tanisha Cleveland, whose initial weigh-in shocked us all at 637 pounds. Tanisha's life was literally at a standstill, trapped within the confines of her home, dependent on a walker, and unable to care for herself without help from her family. But was she ready for the wake-up call that Dr. Now was about to deliver?
Taking over me, it's destroyed my life. I feel like it's taking everything away from me, everything. And I feel like I'm imprisoned in my own body. I do feel like a caged animal, I do. And it's something that's always hurting. My knees want to buckle. My back feel like it's broken. And it's just excruciating to even get up. I can't even make it to the bathroom to start my day.
Driven by a desire to play a more active role in her children's lives, Tanisha reached out to Dr. Now. During their first meeting, she opened up about her past struggles, including being an assault survivor, which she felt contributed to her weight issues. But Dr. Now, ever the straight shooter, challenged her not to let her past define her future, urging her, "Do not use your past as an excuse." It was the tough love she needed, and guess what? It actually worked.
I really doubt that you're going to make any significant changes from last time, but I'm going to give you a chance, okay?
Thank you.
Here's the list again. So you can go back to a 1,200 calorie a day diet. This is a list of all items of food that you need to avoid, okay? So you run out of excuses. Now it's time to change. And I want you to lose 30 pounds over the next one, just like the first time.
Okay.
Spurred on by Dr. Now's no-nonsense approach, Tanisha threw herself into her weight loss efforts with newfound determination. She hit the gym hard, tackling the treadmill like it owned her money. Her commitment quickly started to pay off. Under Dr. Now's watchful eye, she began shedding weight at an impressive rate. Her progress was so remarkable that, within months, Dr. Now gave her the green light for weight loss surgery. But how did this chapter in her journey end?
I'm a little frustrated right now because I'm working hard. And I don't know what else I can do to prove it to him. There's a part of me that's not sure I want to keep doing this or try anymore because I feel like I've done enough. But I have no other choice because I don't want to lose this chance.
By the time her episode wrapped up, Tanisha had lost over 133 pounds in less than a year. A phenomenal achievement by any standard. But she didn't stop there. Tanisha continued to push herself, and the results kept coming. Nowadays, she flaunts her transformation on social media, where she actively shares updates with fans and followers. While she keeps her full-body shots scarce, her glamorous selfies speak volumes of her confidence and the long way she's come.
But I've gone back to him twice and started over, and I failed both times. So I have no idea if he'll even consider me again. And that makes me scared to even try. So I'm praying God gives me the strength to at least fight for my life and try again.
Jesus love you.
I just need one more chance.
Tanisha now lives an active lifestyle and sticks to her diet and workout regimen diligently. She's well under 400 pounds and thriving, showing everyone that beauty isn't just skin deep. It's about the strength and spirit within. Her social media bio encapsulates her philosophy beautifully. Beauty is not defined by the shell of a person, it's the beauty within. Tanisha's story is more than just weight loss. It's about overcoming life's hefty challenges and transforming adversity into an advantage.
Sitting or relying on the wheelchair, so the standing for a long period of time is really challenging. Not wanting to go back to being dependent on others, being restricted from enjoying life and things with my children and just things for myself. That's what keeps me going. When I want a snack, that's what's keeping me from saying, nope, don't touch that. Don't go to the chips, grab a salad or something. So I think about those things. Getting this surgery is the miracle that I've prayed for so long.
Linnea Reed, a 43-year-old from Mississippi, captured our hearts but also left us shouting at the TV a few times. Linnea became a fan favorite after she showcased her struggle with weight while balancing life as a new mom. When she first appeared on the show, she tipped the scales at over 650 pounds, battling a host of weight-related issues. From the get-go, her challenges were monumental.
When I get up to go to the bathroom, I know that I'm going to be out of breath. And I dread it. When I sit on the toilet, I have to brace myself and make sure I don't fall into the toilet, because being my size, you break toilet seats. And bathing is a chore.
In her opening scene, we saw Linnea, with help from her friend Virgie, struggling through a basic bathing process. Exhausted by just getting cleaned, she then sat down to a massive breakfast, a mountain of food that included 6 eggs, bacon, grits, pancakes, biscuits, toast, and more. Seriously, it was a feast that could easily feed 3 people. But with Dr. Now waiting in the wings, how would this affect her upcoming meeting?
And we never had a lot of money, but we were happy. My dad was the sole provider in the house, so my dad worked all the time. But when he was home, he liked to spoil us. My daddy would have snacks in his room, and he'd have his Cokes and his cakes. And I remember he would bring me in there and let me pick whatever I wanted. I'd eat some of Daddy's cakes and drink some of Daddy's Coke and ice cream. So I started loving sweets.
Determined to turn her life around, Linnea traveled to Houston to seek help from Dr. Now. Upon reviewing her records, Dr. Now was shocked to find that she had gained nearly 150 pounds since their last encounter 5 years ago. His advice was blunt and to the point. You don't have time now to waste. He even urged her to ditch the motorized wheelchair, but Linnea countered with excuses about her eating habits, supposedly on another doctor's advice. Dr. Now was not buying it.
For my last appointment, I got a call from Dr. Now's office telling me he wanted to do a video call with me. So that's happening today. And I'm not really looking forward to having him see me because I'm just not feeling great about where I'm at. Times have been a little tough because Kendon has been struggling with her health and having a tough time breathing. So we've been getting her treated for that and taking her to the doctor. And it hurts my heart to see her like that. And I know she got those problems from me. So I hope Dr. Now is understanding of the situation I've been in and that I've just been struggling.
Dr. Now's patience began to wear thin, especially after hearing her excuses. His response: "You have eaten the food that belonged to the next 4 years ahead of time. So if you don't eat, you're gonna be all right." Despite this savage reality check, Linnea struggled to stick to the diet plan, often complaining that the meal plan was comparable to dog food. Her resistance to change was clearly visible.
I've been thinking that it was going to be the weight loss surgery, but it turns out it's a journey just to get to that part.
All right, just give me all you got. You ready? Get it. Go. Come on.
My last weight loss on the work scale was 7 pounds. So that's better, but it's still not enough. So that's where Frank comes in. And I think this is really going to help, having him work me out in a safe and comfortable environment.
The complications increased after she underwent breast reduction surgery, leading to major health issues and a prescription for steroid medication, which further complicated her situation. During the show, she joined Dr. Now's program and was motivated to follow a 1,200-calorie diet, exercise, and bring her weight down to under 200 pounds. However, her duties as a mother made her miss multiple appointments, and she didn't achieve her goal.
I'm saying that you're eating 4 to 5 times that amount, and you don't realize it. But even if you were just eating 1,200 calories, if you're not losing weight, then eat less. You understand that?
That made better sense because that made it more understandable because you made it to where not everything works for everybody.
Despite her best efforts, Lenithra lost less than 30 pounds by the end of her episode. At her final checkup, she was in disbelief about her weight gain, blaming a supposedly malfunctioning scale. Dr. Now, having exhausted all options, delivered one last dose of his trademark blunt advice, telling her he could no longer help her if she wasn't willing to help herself. He decided not to schedule any more appointments for her, a tough love approach to hopefully spark some self-motivation.
Make sure that I can be off for work, so haven't been able to make it down.
Okay, so even though you haven't made it down here, you still need to work with your diet and keep losing weight. But once again, you don't look like you lost any weight. So is your excuse for that still that you have too much going on that you have to deal with?
Yes, sir.
So how does having to do all that mean that you can eat healthy?
Because I've been dealing with all the stress that's been going on with me having to still care for my daughter and not really focusing on me trying to lose the weight. My focus just disappeared from the weight loss.